Um, yeah, I'm Michael Zhilin, and today I'm glad to see you here. Thank you for attending my talk. Just before we will start, I just would like to ask a question. Um, what's maximum size of your database? Okay, let's ask question. 10 gigabytes or more. Okay, 100 gigabytes, 1 petabyte. Petabyte? Oh, cool. Okay, let's start. And just a few words about me. I'm from Russia, and I would like to share some love today using this talk. Last 20 years, I work in international companies, in different companies, as performance engineer. I'm not developer, I'm not QA, I'm just a bit between of them. And right now, I'm working for 5 years in Postgres Professional. I like open source. I like operating system FreeBSD and PostgreSQL essentially. I'm a contributor to PostgreSQL 17. I submitted 2 patches with some bugs. Okay, and a few words about my company, of course. It's number, I don't remember, but one of top 5 contributors PostgreSQL worldwide. Every year, around 40 developers, employees of Postgres Professional contributes every day to Postgres hackers mailing list and so on. And we have a professional team right now in India, Mumbai, if I'm correct. We provide technical support 24/7. We provide a lot of consulting and bug fixes. It's quite easy for us. We have big experience already. And of course, performance audits. We also provide major products like Enterprise Manager to manage your databases in one web page and solution called Postgres Pro Enterprise for very high load environments, tuned for performance, tuned for stability, high availability, and so on. And of course, we have distributed PostgreSQL solution, which we talked today, called Shardman. This solution is based upon PostgreSQL and Postgres Pro Enterprise. It provides all features of Postgres Pro Enterprise, but also provides ability for you to run PostgreSQL on multiple servers, connect to any of them, and use it at like one instance, not like master, primary server, and replica. No, it's just one instance, and everything is done by Shardman for you. It's like abstraction. Also, we provide free education and free DBA courses on our websites and organize certification. At least in Russia, we organize certification every day for DBA, for query performance tuning, and other courses. And of course, I would like to ask you to come to our stand to talk about PostgreSQL and not only about Postgres to our stand. So let's start. What's about today's topic? This is a real story which happened during 1 month. And it had a lot of fun at first time and a lot of pain on another side. This story will be not focused on PostgreSQL directly. It will be focused on many things like hardware, Linux, and other things. Organization, of course. And this is more practical story. It's not something like about, I will show you how Postgres works, deep knowledge insights, and so on. But it's a story about how to generate petabyte of test data for performance purpose. Okay, this story happened 1 year ago. To be honest, it was the 10th of December. And Oleg Bartonov came to me and asked, Michael, where is our results of performance measurements on 1 petabyte database with Shardman? I said, oops, Alec, you never asked it. He said, how come? Do it right now. Go and use our distributed PostgreSQL, means Shardman. And what first should I do? I don't have in my lab 1 petabyte, to be honest. I have very small lab, around 5 or 7 2 units servers. And of course, I have no petabytes, so that is why I need to find this place, this disk space. No problem. OK, the main rule is that I need to find some cheap hardware, because I don't want to spend a lot of money. And Alec also specified deadline. So it should be done by 20th of January, means 1 month. But at first glance, it looks normal, 1 month. But in Russia, it's very tricky season, because it's season just before holidays. And all team is waiting for New Year, organizing plans how to spend time with families, what gifts to buy, and so on. Nobody wants to start a new project, to be honest. It's quite hard point. OK, it looks like I need to solve some very big problem. Essentially, I never worked with 1 petabyte, and I don't know where it will come. OK, let's start with first subject is Shardman. Who is Mr. Shardman? What is it? It's, as I said already, it's distributed database on top of PostgreSQL. And it provides key features. First feature which I would like to mention is ACID, complete ACID. We support distributed transactions, and all our committed data will be at the same time available for other queries according to isolation level, repeatable read or read committed, whatever you want. And it's based on additional mechanism added to the PostgreSQL called commit sequence number. Also, it provides built-in high availability. It means you don't need something additional like Patroni or anything else. It manages replication, and if master is down, primary instance is down, it will promote replica and provide access to replica. It will be transparent to you. OK, latest version is based on version PostgreSQL 17.7. So it can also have support of all modern extensions, like backup extension, like ProBackup, and so on. If you would like to know more details about it, you can check documentation on our website. OK, let's. It's just like small schema presented replication. So we don't need special servers for replicas, because we have already many servers with primary instances, and we can use them for cross-replication. For instance, if we have 2 nodes of prime in our cluster with Shardman cluster, so it means that we can have replicas on another servers. So for instance, for node 1, we can have replica on node 2, and for node 2, we can have replica on node 1. But for my purpose of testing of Petabyte, do I really need replication? Because in this case, I need double space. Not 1 petabyte, I need 2 petabytes. It's 2 times more cost. For performance purpose, I said, no, I will try to keep it simple. I have only 1 month, very tricky project, and it's not question about replication. So I will avoid it. And I also specified test objectives. I would like just to provide some basic tests absolutely basic, but on 1 petabyte database. But the problem is how to generate 1 petabyte database. It's not some simple things like PG bench. Please generate me database with 1 petabyte. Not so. It will take a lot of days. So I need to find the way. And the second point is I need to make performance test. It means load by OLTP SQL queries. That is why I need to find some appropriate benchmark for this purpose. And I found one, which comes to me. It's a Yahoo Cloud Servicing benchmark. This benchmark was developed by Brian, I don't remember family, sorry, from Yahoo. And it's mostly focused on no SQL operation. It means insert, read, update, and maybe some changes like deletions, small deletions. It was developed in 2010 year, and it provides simple operation, as I said, so no aggregations, no joins, no complex queries, no even distributed transactions, because benchmark didn't know about something like it will be used for distributed database. And we also decided to use Go-based implementation because we are familiar with this particular implementation. Okay, it looks like a plan. And what I would like to say is that it brings you one table, big table, which contains 11 columns. Primary key is YCSB key, and 10 columns, which actually additional random data. First column, primary key, is a concatenation of 2 strings, user, and some hash of sequence number. As I said, other 10 columns are absolutely random data, and the size is around 10 bytes, or 100 bytes. That is why physical size of row is around 1 kilobyte, a bit more. That is why it means I need to generate almost a trillion of rows. Okay, good estimation. But let's try to estimate generation speed, rate. If I will divide it by 2 weeks, for instance, 2 weeks for generation, data generation, 2 weeks for performance testing, it means that I need to generate 1 gigabyte of data per second. Looks reasonable. Not okay, it's not fantastic. It looks like real. And finally, action plan looks like I try to find hardware. Then I generate data in 2 weeks using this benchmark. Then I will launch all tests of this benchmark. Also looks simple solution, and provide report to Oleg. Good. What could possibly go wrong in this action plan? To be honest, all. First is topic is cache, and trash. I like this sentence. Actually, Greg Genger from Carnegie Mellon University said around 20 years ago that computer science has only 3 ideas: cache, hash, and trash. And said, why trash? Okay, cache and hash, it's okay, but why hash? Hash is because it reformed. Just because it reforms. But for me, it's for performance engineer, it's often case, to be honest. And I will explain why. Okay, I decided to try to generate data in my lab before while I'm trying to find hardware. I'm trying to generate some data and measure generation speed in my lab, because I know that I need speed around 1 gigabyte per second. That is why I've created 10 virtual machines with 8 vCPU each. And the speed was not so good, to be honest. After a half of hour, I have only 50 gigabytes. It's very slow. But another problem is that sometimes data generation was frozen, no progress for minutes, no bytes, no inserts, database is idle, no blocking, nothing is happening. I said, oh, something wrong with tool. And first question, how it works, how this tool works. Let's start to understand. It's just simple loop using a sequence, and it generates key, as I said before, using concatenation of two strings, user and hash called NFV1A from sequence number, and insert this row. But the key problem is this function. It's hash function. It means if I will generate values using this function, it will generate some random numbers. Random numbers, but there are collisions. It means values will start to repeat after some time. And if I will generate a lot of them, trillion of values, definitely some intervals of data will be generated again because of collisions. It means when I try to generate data, it starts collision, and it will try to insert the same row. Okay, but why is there no errors? Going again to the benchmark, I'm checking because it uses a statement insert into this closure on commit, just ignore it. That is why no progress. Collision is happening. It tried to insert the same row. It's ignored by PostgreSQL. That's all. Nice benchmark. Okay. Straightforward way to speed up it. I said, okay, if it's just single thread, try to insert values one by one. Let's try to create multiple threads, change code of benchmark, and add multiple threads with concurrent transactions and insert not by one row, but multiple rows at the same time. It will bring speed up for us. Yes? Oops, no. First what occurred was deadlock. Because we insert keys in absolutely random way and the order is disrupted, so we will get deadlock. Crying, but not. When fight is continue, we should fight till the end. And the next improvement, we just decided, okay, if hashing is such annoying problem, let's avoid hashing at all. We just removed hashing. We start insert sequence from 0 to trillion. And also we used batching because we already developed it. So we also added noise-wise generation. So we generate data for particular node. And finally, we also decided to avoid some generating of random data, because to generate random value, you need enough entropy in your system. If you generate trillion of rows and each row contains 10 random values, you need a lot of entropy in your system. We don't have such value, so that is why we pre-generate it and cache it. Super. What's our results? Same 10 virtual machines with 8 cores, and before we had 50 gigabytes in a half of hour, and after we had 150 gigabytes in 5 minutes. It's 18 times faster. It's more good for us. It brings rate a half of gigabyte per second on slow environment, to be honest, and it's good. Also, we had another benefit, so we want to monitor progress because we need to check if we have progress or not. We added additional monitoring table, and with our routine inserts one row each 5 minutes with information how many rows inserted, by particular thread. So we also open source it. You can check our code, try to use it for your environment if you want. Okay, go. By end of December, I found some provider who bring me 8 identical servers for reasonable money. For database, we used Planck servers, means it's host name, Planck from 1 to 7, and Schrödinger for load generator. And it was not so cutting-edge hardware. It's contains CPU Intel Silver, not gold, not platinum, just silver, because it's cheap. My purpose is not something like cutting-edge hardware. I need some reasonable for money. And the most expensive was disk drives, because we need 1 petabyte. It's too costly. And finally, I have only 1 day for installation because new year is coming. We installed Debian 12. We used software rate just because we decided it looks good. Why not? We installed our Shardman with additional monitoring. And we start generating data. We spent whole day for installation. That is why we started generation late evening. In 10 minutes, it generated 100 gigabytes. It looks nice. On each server, we have 7 of them. Looks good. So before night, we had generated a lot of, almost a half of terabyte on each server. But if you will look at 6 server, it's a bit faster. But strange. We have 7 identical servers, and 1 is faster. It was first sign of problems. But we okay. Let's go. Come on. After 12 hours, we had problems on 3rd and 6th servers, because on other servers, we have generated 11 terabytes. While on 3rd, we had only 3 terabytes. On 6th, only 4 terabytes. What happened during the night? We started to check in our Grafana. On left, you can see Planck 3. On right, Planck 1. And this graphic from shows you average queue size on RAID massive, on RAID 0. And you see that we had very long queue on problem server. We thought, okay, some problem with drives. We need to call our technical support, not our technical support, but provide our technical support, of course. So, and said, so guys, looks like the servers are not identical. We have problems with drives on 3rd and 6th servers. They said, okay, we will check. Smart CTL shows everything is okay. They checked firmware of all drivers, looks okay. They said, okay, let's restart and check some BIOS parameters about PCI and so on. Looks the same. They said, okay, let's replace cables and check again. After change, few hours was okay, but then problem happened again. So, okay, we need to find another solution. And we decided, maybe something wrong with the software rate. Let's try to avoid it. But how? PostgreSQL requires 1 disk space for PG data. But also it provides such functionality like table spaces. And my idea was to create multiple table spaces and spread partitions of table across them. So I decided to apply changes only on problem servers, create file systems on each drive, and create table space in Shardman for each partition. The plan was, the idea is okay, but first what happened when I tried to create new table space in Shardman, it said, oops, no, I cannot, because you should use global table spaces. If you use distributed environment, it means each node should have the same schema in terms of table spaces, tables, and so on, grants, users, and so on. That is why you should use the same scheme of table spaces across whole cluster, not only on 2 servers. But I tried to check source code and found magic setting called Shardman sync schema. And if I will disable this setting, it will allow me to create table space locally, but it will ask me again that name location template should contain variable RGID. I come to developer and say, come on guys, I don't understand what it means. Right? It's actually developer wording, not user-friendly wording. But they explain me, okay, no problem. So you need just to use macros RGID in the location in path to the particular disk space. And I did it like this. So I created additional directories where RGID is the number of server. RGID is free for plank free. So I created folder directory with free in for 2 tables, for 2 partitions. And it looks fine. So I created table spaces. The result was of this change very surprised me. It surprised me because the generation speed was okay for 2 days. So some problems with software rate, strange. Why on 2 servers? I don't know. But after this change, it works fine. I hope to find some problem drive because my idea was some drive is broken. But no, all drives works fine and generation was data generation was good for a long time. So we started celebrating New Year and Orthodox Christmas, and we configured our tool to generate a half of petabyte, not full petabyte, but a half of petabyte. Why? I don't know. It was just my feeling. Let's start with a half before jump to the full petabyte. Just safety, maybe. And actually more problems has coming. After celebrating of Orthodox Christmas, we have checked all servers, and all servers reporting problems about memory, about DDR memory. They're saying, so guys, we have a lot of issues with them. And I again called to technical support of provider. They checked all servers and said, guys, 4 servers contains broken memory, we will change it. I said, wow, unexpected. And also you have 1 broken fan. Come on. Okay, but actual state was good for me. I have already a half of petabyte. It's big amount of data. But first I would like to try is to run some performance tests to check. Maybe I have some problems with tests. And how to make it. In case of distributed database, I have data spread across all nodes. And query can come to any server, not particular to the server where the data is stored, but on any server. That is why I wrote small routine which will connect to particular node A and try to query data from node B. If data is stored on the same server, I will have good performance. It's expected because it's local data. If it's remote data, I will have some better, worse performance, but it's also okay. And I've checked all servers and find out the same what I expected. Good performance if I try to fetch data from Planck 1 to Planck 1. A bit worse performance if I have inter-node interaction. But server 7 looked very bad on my performance test. Come on, again, one server is bad. What's happening? I've checked the graphs CPU utilization over time. The performance test duration was about 5 minutes for single test. And I see just a lot of spikes of CPU. No progress, spike. No progress, spike. No progress, spike. And what's about transactions per second? More or less the same. Working, not working. Working, not working. Come on, what's happening again? To be honest, I've tried to start with CPU profiling, but I know that it's not good choice because if there is no progress, no CPU utilization, why you try to profile CPU? But I decided, okay, at first I will try to check it, and I found that a lot of a business flame graph of utilization of CPU using perf, and what's essentially I pay attention is this big bar spending a lot of time in ext4 file system. It tried to rename files. We tried to rename files, and it tried to write some pages. It go to some allocator, MB allocator, try to allocate new blocks, and spent a lot of time in this code. I'm not Linux expert. I like FreeBSD, but not Linux, to be honest. And the first time what I decided is try to Google. I don't have a lot of time. I have around a week before deadline. And I found that there is bug in reported in Bugzilla on kernel.org saying, yes, you can achieve, you can touch this bug, and it's already fixed in version 6.8. Mine was 6.1. Okay, but also I found another resource which saying, come on guys, I have similar problem, and I've solved it just remounting database file system with option stripe equal to 0. I said, okay, let's go to check our value of parameter stripe. What is stripe? I don't know what is stripe, to be honest. But our actual value was 100 something, 1,000 something. I said, let's go to set it to 0 and remount file system and restart test. And it's excellent. Okay, we touched some bugs, and we can touch some bugs in Linux during this test. Okay, but after change of quick workaround, performance was good again. And transaction per second reached expected level on problem server. 5 days before deadline. After all these problems, generation is over, so I have almost 1 petabyte of data. Disk utilization around 90%. To be honest, I didn't generate petabyte. I generated a bit less because I need to have some free space at least for write-ahead logs. And I forgot about it. And finally, another surprise that on Planck 3, I spent less disk space than on other servers, even if size of table in terms of rows are the same. I don't know why, to be honest. I didn't check. But there was a new anomaly. Is CPU utilization. I checked all servers and I see some CPU utilization. Why? I check pgstat activity and I see after vacuum. Okay, guys, come on. Yes, of course. I have inserted a lot of rows and now after vacuum should come and freeze them. Shit. I need to freeze 1 petabyte of data. And when I checked progress vacuum, I saw that some sessions working for 1 day and scanned only 40% of data. Not good, not good. And moreover, I saw a lot of waits saying like vacuum delay. I know if I see timeout vacuum delay, it means someone set cost policy to the vacuum, and I need just to disable it. I should set after vacuum cost delay to 0. Okay, restart workers. And now I see, I need to write a lot of write-ahead logs. Of course, if I want to freeze something, I need to write write-ahead logs, and I need to write modified data, frozen data to the relations. But I don't want to wait for such writes. That is why I decided, okay, let's remount pgval to the temp fs. At least I will save a half of time. After this change, so progress was more or less good. And after 18 hours, all after vacuums finished their works. And I start the measurements. Actually, here is the results of our measurements. First of them is a select query. You can see multiple servers and reach TPS for different amount of concurrent workers, clients. For 20 is blue one, and so on. And again, I see that plant 3 is faster. Why it's faster? Why? For 7 identical servers, one is again faster. Then I try to update rows. 6 is faster. I don't know why. But really, TPS is good. Even for one server, I have 1,000 transactions per second. Not cool. It's Intel Silver, not gold, not platinum. 1,000 transactions per second is acceptable for me. Also, I checked global changes like global performance tests for whole cluster using YCSB. It's workload A, and this graph shows scalability across the whole cluster from 16 workers to 1,000 workers. The same for workload B, which is more read-only scenario with 5% of updates. Nice results. Also for mixed workloads. And finally, by deadline, by 20th of January, so we prepared a lot of, we performed a lot of tests, prepared report, and another memory bank said, I'm broken. And here we stopped. No more tests, no more fixes, no more calls to technical support. Actually, it recalled me one Soviet cartoon called last year Snow Failing. This picture is from this cartoon. If you want, you can watch English version of this Soviet cartoon. I like it, to be honest. And finally, achievements and what's our lesson learned. More than 1,000 chat messages, 23 hours of overtime during week holidays, a lot of broken memory achieved, yes. One broken fan, a lot of gigabytes for analysis, for further analysis. And what would be changed the next time? We need to rent more disk space. Not petabyte, but petabyte with 10% or 20% extra space. Also, I would like to say that all existing benchmarks are designed for small amounts of volume, not designed for petabytes. That is why next time I will write new own benchmark with focus on for 1 petabyte, probably some emulating of payment system, something like this. And of course, I will plan to have extra space to solve some hardware issues, Linux issues, and so on, because I saw a lot of interesting things, findings, but I have no time to investigate them because I rented hardware just for a few weeks. Some lessons learned, and my recommendations is to use RAS daemon. It's daemon to check all hardware problems on your server. If you don't use it, start to use. It's excellent. It sends alarm if something wrong. To check ext4 options, because some distributor, some Linux distribution can set this parameter to unexpected value, not default value, absolutely. And of course, I showed already a lot of life hacks how to solve some unexpected problems and speed up loading of data. So if you want to know more about Shardman, you can check this documentation. But also we wrote an article about all this story already. You can check on Hover. It's English version of this article. And now I would like to thank you for attending my talk. Thank you.